Attention passionate Philadelphia, EAGLES FANS. Latest news, something big is happening in the NFC East and it could change the game. We're talking about a direct impact on Philadelphia Eagles' path to another Super Bowl run, a power shift that could leave a division rival stumbling for years. We're bringing this to you firsthand. But before that, if you're a true Philadelphia Eagles fan, subscribe to the channel to strengthen this passion even more. Show that you're also part of this family. Let's help each other reach 1,000 subscribers. Share with YOUR, FRINDS and Philadelphia, EAGLES FANS. Let's get to the news. Now folks, if you've been paying close attention to the Eagles this season, you already know that things have been a bit of a roller coaster. There's a certain déjà vu that's been haunting Eagles fans week after week, especially when it comes to the offense. It's like watching a team with so much talent just suddenly hit a wall in the second half, again and again. This pattern, this recurring theme, is starting to feel like a bad habit, and it's raising some serious questions about what's really going on in Philadelphia. You see, the Eagles had a pretty solid first half against the Denver Broncos last Sunday. Jalen Hurts was on fire early on, connecting with A.J. Brown and Jahan Dotson with a level of precision that made fans feel optimistic. Hurts, as always, was showing leadership, going 13 of 19 for 138 yards, a touchdown, and a passer rating of 106.9. That's pretty impressive against a tough defense. The play calling was aggressive, the offensive line was holding up, and the offense looked like it was in control. But then, something changed. And this is where the story gets frustrating, because this isn't the first time it's happened this season. The Eagles went from looking like a well-oiled machine to completely losing their rhythm. The second half was a different story, a story of stagnation, of missed opportunities, and ultimately a collapse that cost them dearly. After a promising drive early in the third quarter, where Saquon Barkley exploded for a 47-yard touchdown, things started to unravel rapidly. The Eagles went 3 drives without converting a single yard, punting 3 times in a row. It's like they hit an invisible wall and they just couldn't break through it. It's clear that the offense is struggling with adjustments, and that's a huge concern. Because if you can't adapt mid-game, especially against a defense like Denver's, then you're setting yourself up for failure. And for Eagles fans, that's a hard pill to swallow, especially after the team had maintained an 18-game winning streak when leading into the fourth quarter. That streak, which seemed unbreakable, finally came to an end. And naturally, a lot of the blame is being pointed at offensive coordinator Kevin Patullo. Now I know what some of you are thinking. Yes, Jalen Hurts is trying his best to keep things afloat. After the game, he tried to rally the team, taking responsibility, saying, "I can't tell you what the issue is. Ultimately, I can take accountability for everything and take responsibility for it all." That's leadership, there's no doubt about it. Hurts isn't pointing fingers, he's stepping up and trying to inspire his teammates to find solutions. But the reality is, the problems go much deeper than just one player or one coach. The Eagles' offense has been inconsistent all season, and it's starting to affect their star players, especially A.J. Brown and Jahan Dotson. These guys are talented, no doubt, but in the second half, there were moments where it looked like they gave up on plays. That's a troubling sign. When your best receivers seem to lose their effort, it's a symptom of a team that's losing confidence, and that's dangerous. Looking at the bigger picture here, the defense has been solid, but it's the offense that's causing all the headaches. The Eagles' struggles against an elite defense like Denver's are understandable to an extent, but the predictability of these struggles is what's so frustrating. Week after week, teams seem to have figured out how to contain Hurts and the passing game after the initial half. The lack of adjustments and the inability to sustain drives in the second half is a pattern that needs to be addressed immediately. Because if the Eagles can't fix these issues, they risk losing more games that they shouldn't, and that could threaten their playoff aspirations. And let's not forget, the NFC East is no longer just a one-team race. The Dallas Cowboys and the New York Giants are also fighting hard, and if the Eagles continue to stumble, they could lose the division title or a playoff seed. Now, I want to take a moment here and emphasize the importance of the coaching staff, especially Kevin Patullo. There's a lot of criticism flying around, and honestly, it's justified to an extent. The offensive coordinator is walking a thin line right now, and until the Eagles can string together 2 solid halves of offense in a game, the pressure will only mount. This isn't just about one game or one bad performance. It's It's about consistency, about executing under pressure, about making the right calls at the right time. The Eagles have the talent, no doubt about that. Jalen Hurts, with his dual-threat ability, is capable of leading a high-powered offense, but he needs support. He needs the offensive line to keep him protected, the receivers to run precise routes, and the coaching staff to adapt and make the necessary adjustments during the game. If they don't, teams will keep exploiting their weaknesses, and the losses will pile up. But it's not all doom and gloom. The Eagles are a resilient team, and they've shown that throughout the last couple of seasons. Remember, they haven't lost a game where Hurts has started and finished in over a year. That's an incredible streak, and it speaks to the team's focus and talent. However, the recent loss to Denver was a wake-up call. It exposed some vulnerabilities that, if left unaddressed, could get worse. The good news is that the Eagles, coaching staff, and players are experienced enough to learn from setbacks like these. They've been in high-pressure situations before, and they know what it takes to bounce back stronger. But they need to act fast, make the right adjustments, and restore their offensive rhythm before it's too late. The season is still very much alive, and the NFC East remains competitive. The Eagles have the talent, the leadership, and the drive to turn things around. It's about fixing the issues, especially on offense, and making sure that the second half of games doesn't become a nightmare. Jalen Hurts, A.J. Brown, and Jahan Dotson are key pieces in this puzzle. Hurts needs to continue leading by example, taking responsibility and rallying his team. Brown has to find his fire again, and Dotson needs to be more involved in the game plan. The coaching staff, especially Kevin Patullo, must analyze what's going wrong and adapt quickly. The season isn't over, but they can't afford to keep falling into these traps. The road to the Super Bowl is always filled with obstacles, but the Eagles have proven they're capable of overcoming adversity. They've built a culture of winning, of resilience, and of grit. Now, they need to channel that same energy into fixing their offense and finishing games strong. The division, the conference, and the playoffs are all within reach, but only if they learn from these setbacks and come back even better. So, Eagles fans, stay strong, keep the faith, and keep supporting your team because this season is far from over. There's still a lot of football to be played, and trust me, the best is yet to come. Pause here just for a second. If you want the YouTube algorithm to keep recommending the latest Philadelphia Eagles news to you, it's super important that you leave a like on this video. Go ahead, it's quick, and it makes a big difference. Thank you. Now let us continue with the big reveal. And finally, I want to hear from you, the fans who live and breathe this team. What's your take on what's happening right now? Do you believe the Eagles can turn this around? Is the offense fixable, or do we need to look at bigger changes? Drop your thoughts in the comments below because your opinion matters so much to us and to the Philadelphia Eagles. Remember, the season is still in progress, and there's always a new chapter waiting to be written. I'll be back soon with more updates, analysis, and insights, so stay tuned and keep that Eagles spirit alive. We're in this together, and I honestly believe that with the right mindset and effort, the Eagles will come back stronger than ever. Thanks for watching, and go Birds!